I was asked by a couple people to do gear review of the gear that I'm using currently hiking northbound on the Appalachian Trail. So I figured that since today I did a little bit of slack packing and unloaded my pack and getting ready to reload it, that I would do kind of an impromptu gear review as I put things back into my pack. A little bit different here because I'm at a hostel. Actually, it's a bed and breakfast, and there's a highway that runs across here, so I hope the noise isn't too distracting. Also, it's a little awkward to kind of be filming stuff with one hand and moving things around, but I'll do the best that I can, and hopefully it helps somebody out in some way. The pack that I'm currently using is the Hyperlight Unbound series. It's an Unbound 55-liter pack. I started last October with a Durston Kakwa 55, same size pack. I really liked it. It has 3, I'll just say, support staves inside of the pack to give it support. I guess carrying the weight down on the waist band, where the Hyperlight, I believe, has one inside of it. I got the Hyperlight because I wanted to try it this spring, and because it has some tie-offs here, not tie-offs, but a daisy loop chain where you can hang different things. I guess that's good and bad because you hang things off of it. It's good because you can do that, and it's bad because you have stuff hanging off your pack. I do like this pack. Both of them are the same style, where basically it's just a big hole that you fill up. Unlike backpacks that I've used to hike in Colorado that have compartments and different things. And I mean, I like that better because you can keep organized a bit better, but this is what these ultralight packs seem to be. It has pretty decent shoulder straps. It has some loops on the front here that you can hang things. I've got Purell here. I have a little teardrop thermometer. From Hyperlight, I got the water bottle holder, and I got the phone case also that hangs off of here. I really have not used the phone case as a phone case much because I put my phone in my front pocket. But what I do seem to do is one of the other items that I use, and I love the Garmin inreach, send text messages from my phone that connects to it via Bluetooth, but it also has an SOS button on it if I were to get in trouble in some fashion. It's satellite and I can get help. But back to the pack, it has these large side pockets on it that I'll go over what I put in there. And then it also has a waistband pocket on both sides. For my pack, it's supposed to be a waterproof or water resistant material, the Hyperlight. But what I do is I use a trash compactor bag that goes inside of the pack, and it's going to go all the way down in the bottom. Actually, I don't know if you can see, but there is one down in the bottom of it, an extra one in case I get a hole in this one or it rips. I put an extra one in the bottom of the pack that obviously I'm just carrying with me. But this goes inside of the pack first, and then everything's loaded in the pack from there. So that trash compactor bag is an added layer of protection that you put the things that you need to keep dry in the pack first, for the most part. This is a Sea to Summit compression bag. It's an 8-liter. Inside of it, I have an Enlightened Equipment quilt, and the quilt that I'm using currently is a 10-degree quilt, so a bit warmer because I started late February and I was worried about temperatures and snow and rain and being cold. So it's a bit bulkier than, I have a 20-degree also, and then I either have a 40 or 50 degree, but with me currently I have the 10 degree. And I put this in the bottom of the pack first. Some people just put the quilt inside of the pack loose, put it in the bottom, and then just start piling stuff on it. But it's so fluffy that I find it easier for me if I put it in a compression sack, tighten it down, and then put it in the bottom of the pack. The next thing that I put in my pack, I have another compression sack. This is a 5-liter Sea to Summit compression sack. Inside of it, I have basically my night clothes, so I have a set of hiking clothes to wear during the day, and then in the event that my hiking clothes get wet because of rain, then I have a dry set of clothes, just say an emergency set of clothes that I can change into at nighttime. And what they consist of is the Icebreaker 200 long leggings, the Icebreaker 200, these are both merino wool, long sleeve shirt. I have an extra pair of ex officio boxers, and then I have Darn Tough wool socks. These are my sleeping socks. This is an extra set of hiking socks, which, like I say, I have 2 pair. My thought process there is that if I'm hiking and one pair gets wet, I've heard of people then needing to put those wet socks on or possibly frozen socks in the morning. So my thought is that I have an extra dry pair, and I could hang the other pair that's wet off of the back of my pack. These are in Ninja sock liners. There's a pocket for each toe, so you put that on first, and then the Darn Tough hiking socks. So I put these in the compression bag, and I put it in the bottom of the pack inside of the trash compactor bag with the down at the bottom with my quilt. Again, these are going to be protected by the water resistant or waterproof pack, the trash compactor bag, which will be folded over the top of it. But then additionally, these Sea to Summit bags are supposed to be waterproof as well. Next, I have a Sea to Summit polyester sleeping bag or quilt liner. Basically, it's just a big soft polyester bag that I slip into first, and then I get under the quilt, or you would get into your sleeping bag. I put this inside of a Z-Packs Dyneema dry bag, but it's all again going in that waterproof trash compactor bag in the bottom of the pack. As far as sleep systems, next would be that I have a Thermarest Neo Air mattress. I have an Enlightened Equipment pillow. It's dirty, sorry. It has straps on it that will help hold it under the pad so it doesn't slide around. They talk about packing your fears. In addition to the Thermarest Neo Air, I also brought with me this spring, because I was afraid of the cold temperatures that I had seen on YouTube videos, a Nemo switchback. This is the closed foam mat, and I strapped that on the back of the pack. But these items are going to go down in the bottom of the pack, probably in that dry section that I'm looking for. When I was explaining to some other hikers a month ago or so, they were having quite a bit of fun with the fact that I had quite a number of jackets. I'll talk about the shirt that I hike in, but I guess you'd call it a mid-layer, is a hooded jacket by Patagonia. And let's see if it says here what it is. Patagonia, I think it's like an R2, but that's my mid layer that would go over my sun hoodie that I hike in if it's really cold. But I also have a puff jacket that I wear. It compresses down pretty tight. It's just an inexpensive puff jacket that I got at a Black Friday sale at Kohl's back in Ohio. I also felt the need, for whatever reason, to bring a windbreaker. It's a hooded windbreaker. It's very light. Of course, all of these things add up when you keep piling them into your hood. I'm trying to recall who this is, but I saw a video and somebody really liked it, so I ordered it. Outdoor Vitals Nebo windbreaker. Honestly, I've not used that yet. I used it. The only thing I used it for was a couple days ago when I had my laundry done. They didn't have loaner clothes like most hostels have, so I put my windbreaker and my rain pants on. But this couple that were laughing because all the jackets I had wanted to give me the trail name jackets. I also have Enlightened equipment. I think this is a polyester puffy, and I wear this when I'm sleeping. I really like it. It's comfortable. It's made by Enlightened equipment, but what I like about it is that it's soft, it's comfortable, it's warm, and it has a hood on it. So when my head's cold, I pull the hood over my head. My head's warm. I put earplugs in if I'm in a shelter or if I just want to zone out in my tent and not hear what's going on outside. So those are my jackets. I have a Z-Packs cap. I have rain pants that are made by Mountain Hardwear rain pants. I thank goodness, because it's been nice and sunny, I've only used those when I had my laundry done. It's something that's been pretty useful for a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow, but a lot of wind, is my Patagonia rain jacket. And I usually keep this kind of on the outside of my pack so that I can put it on quickly if need be. Doesn't really say which one this is, but rain pants, rain jacket, in addition to my sleep puffy, my work puffy, my hooded mid layer, and a wind jacket over there. So that's why they wanted to call me jackets. I reject the trail name jackets, just so you know. Not going to do it. Speaking of rain gear, and probably because I didn't know, and like I say, packing your fears, in addition to the rain pants, I purchased, I think this is from Z-Packs, and it's a rain kilt. These are down booties by Outdoor Vitals. And I've probably worn these maybe 6 or 8 times on the very cold nights when it's down below freezing, and a couple of nights down around 20 degrees or lower. They're made by Outdoor Vitals. I just wear them over the top of my wool sleep socks on those cold nights, and they keep my feet nice and warm. They don't weigh much, but again, everything adds up. And also at a certain point, things that you don't use, you get tired of handling over and over as you're unpacking your pack to set up your camp. Then you put the leftover stuff back in your pack. In the morning, you take those things out, and then you repack the pack the way that you want it. But they kept my feet warm when I needed them. My current tent is the Durston X-Mid Pro 2. I got the 2-person tent because I wanted extra room inside to bring my gear if it was raining for an extended period of time. I like the Durston tent. It's made out of Dyneema. It's very light. You can look it up. I think it's under 2 pounds. But it does take up quite a bit of space on the ground. And I've had a couple times where the spot that I had to set the tent up was a bit restrictive, and the size of this tent made it a little more difficult. But I do like the tent. I also have a Z-Packs duplex that I used last fall, but I didn't get the one with zippers on the fly, and I was afraid rain would blow in, so I purchased this X-Mid Pro and brought it with me this time. The tent's great. I do like it. I brought a pair of Z-Packs Gaiters. So they're short to go up just above the ankle to keep, I guess, rocks and snow from going into your shoes. Honestly, I've not used them yet, and I'm 400 miles in on the trail. A lot of people use Gaiters. I just haven't really found the need for them yet. I also have this Big Sky International insulated bag that you use if you're heating up water and mixing it with like some of the Nor sides or different things, and you need to keep it hot for a period of time to kind of cook it or rehydrate it. I've not used that either. So far, I've cooked the backpacking dehydrated meals in the bag that they come with. It stays plenty hot for me, even back when it was colder. And if I'm making something like mashed potatoes, rice, cheese, and bacon bits, then I keep one of the used dehydrated meal packets that has a Ziploc in the top of it, and I just mix that food in that bag and use it over and over again. The X-Mid Pro tent has a footprint ground cloth that they sell that's made to clip on the bottom of the tent and fits it. It's the right size to fit it. It wasn't available when I ordered the tent, so I got this piece of Tyvek. This is a, I don't remember the numbers on the Tyvek, like 600 or something like that. But this is a Tyvek that is softer. It's not as crunchy, crispy, noisy as the regular Tyvek. So I like it better. Last fall I had the regular Tyvek house wrap, and it worked fine. But again, it was kind of noisy, a little bit obnoxious. But I put that down on the ground and then put my tent on top of it, even though it may not be necessary, but I do it as added protection for my tent. I have a Z-Packs sit pad. It's just a small pad. Keep it in the back of my pack. And if I'm going to, I find that I don't stop for lunch. I just keep walking up the trail and eating out of the snacks out of my fanny pack. But when I get to camp, this is handy to sit on a log if I'm going to sit down and cook and fix dinner, or to put on the ground in front of my tent to kneel on while I am inflating my air mattress and getting everything set up in the tent. Keeps my knees from kneeling in dirt. For meal preparation, I have the Toaks 750 milliliter titanium little pot that I use to heat my water up in to cook my food or to mix with my food or my coffee. I currently have the MSR, I think this is the Pocket Rocket Deluxe, has a piezo lighter on it. I had before that, I think it's a BSR, which is a very small, lightweight, inexpensive stove, and it worked fine. But I got this one because of the piezo and has a little bit of a windscreen on it. Unfortunately, a couple weeks into my trip, as I was holding it upside down to get it fit onto my canister, the guts fell out of this stove, and so the piezo disconnected. I need to contact MSR and see if they can exchange this at an outfitter up the trail. I use the Toaks long-handled spork, but if I had it to do over, I would just get the spoon. I don't need the fork portion of it anyway, and when I'm eating oatmeal and stuff, some of the oatmeal and liquid just falls out of the slots and makes it messy for me. This stove, as well as the BSR stove, go on to these fuel canisters, ISOPRO fuel blend. And then the stove, when I fold down the wings on it and put it away, I wrap it in this small Hilltop Packs cloth just to help keep it from scratching up the Toaks pot. I have a lighter, well, because I need it now. The piezo doesn't work, but I put, I also have this collapsible Sea to Summit cup, and that's what I drink my coffee out of in the morning. I like a combination of Carnation Instant Breakfast French Vanilla and a sleeve of Starbucks coffee. And it's nasty dirty. I need to clean it since I'm at a B&B, but it collapses down, and the cup and the stove inside of the pot go inside of that bag, and then I put them in this Dyneema bag to keep it all in one spot. For my food, I chose the large Z-Packs bear bag. Based on advice from a friend of mine, Halo, I put reflector tape on both sides so that at night or first thing in the morning, I can find it hanging in the trees. This is what you keep your food in. And when you're camping where they don't have a bear box or the wire cables to hang your food off of, then you hang your food in a tree to keep bears from getting to it. The PCT hang, which you should research how to do, is the hang that's recommended. I won't go into that right now, but the way that you hang it is you have this rope and you have a rock bag. You put rocks in the bag, you toss it up over a branch that is probably at least 15 feet up in the air. Take the rocks out of the bag, hook the carabiner on the top of this bag when it's folded down, and then you pull the bag up into the air out of reach of the bears. Inside of this bag, I currently have my food. There's a variety of food, different things. The Starbucks coffee, the breakfast essential French vanilla. Enjoy that. Backpacker meals, Peep, Propel, to help you with hydration during the day. This is supposed to be an odor-proof bag to put the food in so that the critters can't smell it, I guess, in the bear bag. And I do use that. I'm not sure how necessary it is, but that's how I keep my food safe from the animals. I brought some extra line, lightweight line, that I could stretch between trees to, in essence, make a clothesline. If I needed to hang my quilt up to dry or some of my clothing. I have it's actually a ShamWow as seen on TV, but a piece of absorbent cloth to wipe the condensation off the inside of my tent, or if I'm setting my tent up and I get rain in it while I'm setting it up, to dry the tent out. I have my tent stakes for the X-Mid Pro. I decided to get I think they're 8-inch, I think they're MSR groundhogs. So 4 for the 4 corners, and then some lighter weight tent stakes for other points that I want to hold down. These are some fingerless gloves by Outdoor Research that I've not used once and have been hanging off of my pack by a carabiner. I have some Z-Packs gloves that are almost like fleece gloves that I have worn quite a bit, that I wear when it's cold in the mornings and then put them in my pocket when it gets warm. These are the Z-Packs gloves. I don't remember what the name of them are, but Z-Pack sells them. They're warm. Fleece would do the same thing, keep you dry even if they're wet. But I also have, in addition to that, should be in my rain jacket pocket, these are Z-Packs waterproof mittens. And so my thought there, thanks again, because it's been pretty dry and sunny, I haven't needed them. But my thought is that if it was rainy, instead of my hands being cold and wet, I could put my Z-Packs fleece gloves, for no better words, on, and then put the Z-Packs waterproof mittens over the top. worth having, whether I use them or not, because they weigh next to nothing, and I think they could be very useful. As far as electronics go, I have a Nightcore headlamp. It charges by USB-C connector. I have two battery banks. They also charge with the C connector. I have the flex tail inflator for my mattress. Doesn't weigh much. Means I don't have to blow my mattress up when I get to camp. I have a Izani wall charger with USB-C cords coming off of it. Has two outlets, so I can charge two things at one time. But I've also found that I can use these small USB-C cords and come out of the battery bank and go into one of the other devices that charges with the USB-C and charge it all at the same time. I have some mini USB cards to save my videos on, although I've found that I'm backing my videos and pictures up to Dropbox when I get to Wi-Fi, and some other odds and ends there, but it's in a, I guess it's supposed to be a waterproof bag here by somebody. And then I try to keep it inside of the liner as well. I have these Shocks headphones, which I've only used a couple times when I'm in a hostel and I'm editing videos. But those are my main electronics other than my iPhone that I use to take pictures and film with. And also I use it to communicate with my Garmin inreach, and I love that little Garmin inreach. For water filtration, I use a CNOC 3-liter bag for my dirty water. So that's what I collect the water in from a spring, or sometimes I use my little collapsible cup and scoop it out of a puddle. But all of my water is filtered through a Sawyer squeeze. And then that's important in the winter time, if it's going to be below freezing, that you keep this dry. So I routinely put my Sawyer squeeze, all of my electronics in in the compression bag for my quilt when it's not in there. And I sleep with my electronics and my water filter inside of my bag liner, so it stays with me. So that's water filtration. Of course, I have a trowel to dig cat holes with, to use the restroom, and toilet paper. But some things that I found that I also really like on Amazon are these little towels. It's almost the size of a thick Lifesaver, but when you put water on them, they expand tremendously, and you can use it to wipe your face down or clean up or just about anything. They're extremely light. There's probably 15 of them in this bag. I just put them in my pack and use them if I need them. I have a Z-Packs fanny pack, or whatever you want to call it, that hangs off my waist in front of me, and I load this up in the morning with snacks to eat out of during the day. It's probably not necessarily a good thing, but I find that I eat breakfast, I pack everything up, I put snacks in my fanny pack, for no better words, and then I hike however long, 8 or 10 hours during the day, just pulling stuff out of this fanny pack as I need to eat, putting the wrappers in my pocket. So far, the only time that I stop is when I need to stop and filter water, and then I take my pack off to get that done. I have a Ziploc bag here that has just different repair type things in it. Thankfully, I've not needed any of those, but a patch kit for my Thermarest air mattress. This is a tick puller, I guess. This is one of those old Army style can openers. I don't know why I brought that, but This is a Z-Pack sewing kit. Some Gorilla Glue, super glue in case it's needed. These are, I think they're tenacious tape patches, the same as these. Some little clips in case I needed it. I think this O-ring is for my stove potentially. Some extra cording for the side of my tent for hold downs, which I've not needed. I've got a couple extra Z-Packs Dyneema bags here. That's in kind of my repair kit bag. In another Ziploc bag, quart bag, I have more odds and ends. I got these little containers to put toothpaste tablets in, which I used for the first 30 days or so. I'm out of them now. So at my last resupply, I just got a small travel-sized toothpaste. I have a toothbrush. I have floss, although I don't like sticking my hands in my mouth. So I have these little picks that I use instead of the floss, typically. This is called Leuco tape, which is used if you have blisters forming or something. It comes on a roll, but somebody gave me a tip. The shiny, slick type of paper that if somebody sends you mailing labels like they always do, one side of it is super slick. Anyway, I took the Leuco tape off of the roll and put it on here, and then I just cut it off as I need it. I've needed that much of it so far. So some blister activity between last fall and this spring. In here I also have Body Glide, which I've not used. I have Aqua Tabs, which in case my water filter were to freeze, I could use Aqua Tabs to purify my water. I have cortisone cream. I have some earplugs, nail clippers, little mouth guard to keep me from grinding my teeth, which I haven't used. I found an extra filter for the water filter on the trail, so I keep that in there. I have ibuprofen, which I have used, my medication, and then in this bag I have disposable contact lenses, which I wear. I wear the daily contact lenses, which you're supposed to dispose of every day, but so that I don't have to carry so many contact lenses, I wear them 2 days, and then I take them out, typically, for the most part, sometimes. In another quart Ziploc bag, I have Neosporin. I have Dr. Bronner's camp soap, which it takes very little. It's nice to be able to wash your hands with soap and water. Avoids a lot of issues. I have some Band-Aids. I have Alka-Seltzer Cold Plus, which thankfully I've not needed. I have some Wet Ones wipes, which I have used a few times. I have some Tums, which I've not used. Or those little towels that explode with water. I have some tweezers, and I have a small Swiss Army knife. Has little scissors on it, which I used to cut that Leuco tape, which was handy. Looks like there's an extra Ziploc bag in here. So there you go. I have a small container of DEET in case the mosquitoes or bugs get bad. Before I left home, I sprayed my clothing, my pants, my socks, my shirts with a tick repellent spray that you can get a concentrate from Tractor Supply, or you can get the spray in a yellow bottle from REI. I'm gonna say the wrong name, but like pyrethrin. But anyway, you put it on your clothing and it deters the ticks. It will last for about 4 to 6 washes of your clothing, so it need to be reapplied occasionally, obviously. My current shoes are Ultra Lone Peak 8s. It's a discontinued model, but they're trail runners. I was advised to get trail runners that are not Gore-Tex or waterproof, because at the end of the day your feet are going to get wet, and if they are waterproof they dry out more slowly than if they're not. So I have some topos at home that I used last fall that I really like. I also have some Ultra Lone Peak 11s, which is the newer model, but these have, I guess, about 350 miles on them, and they're holding up pretty well so far. You can feel the rocks on through the bottom of them, but they're lightweight and they seem to work well. I use a couple of smart water bottles to put my drinking water in, one with this flip top, one without. I keep one in the pouch on the front of my pack and then one in the back, and adjust how much water I carry depending on the water sources that I feel are up ahead. The nice thing about the smart water bottles is that Sawyer squeeze attaches directly to those threads. So you fill your dirty water bag, you screw the filter on the bottom of the dirty water bag, and then you screw the smart water bottle on the bottom, and you filter via gravity or squeezing from the dirty water bag into the smart water bottle. Another tip given to me by Halo is to keep the whole setup at a 45-degree angle in case any of the dirty water drips off, it doesn't drip down and into your smart water bottle. I'm using these trekking poles. They're diorite gear, I believe is the proper way to pronounce it. They have cork handles. Of course, they unclip here at the bottom and extend, and they seem to work well. They are also used to set my tent up because it's a trekking pole tent, which means that it uses 2 poles as support structures, and you don't have to carry the other items with you. Some people may be concerned that if you broke a trekking pole, you would have a problem with your tent. I guess that's true. Maybe you would cut a stick to suffice until you got that problem rectified. Well, I've never worn Crocs before. I have a pair of Crocs that I use for camp shoes. Some people also have them in case there's a water crossing. They can take their hiking shoes or boots off and cross in the stream in the Crocs. I have found that it's helpful at the end of the day to get out of those hiking socks that are damp from either water, rain, sweat, or whatever, and those shoes, and put the Crocs on. It just makes your feet feel a little bit better. Hiking clothes, personal preference. I have these North Face pants, and they have zip-off legs. They're kind of baggy and they don't feel great. I think maybe there could be a better solution for that. And then my long-sleeved sun hoodie is Mountain Hardwear. But honestly, when it's gotten up in the 70s already, I feel like it's too hot. It has a hood on it, which is very comfortable when it's cool and the wind's blowing. But I think I'm a short-sleeve shirt type person, and so I'm going to be probably switching to at least having a short sleeve shirt to wear as I'm hiking on those warmer days. I think the last thing that I haven't covered is, since I don't have a lot of hair to protect my head, I have a ball cap that I wear. I did initially start with OR, Outdoor Research, lightweight, like nylon, the type of a hiking cap that a lot of people use, which might be nice because this is kind of heavy, and when it gets sweaty, it just feels like, retains the sweat. But I mean, I'm representing Tunnel to Towers. From my videos, that's who I'm hiking to raise money for. So I wear my Tunnel to Tower hat every day, as it says on the back, T2T.org. And let us do good. That's what I aim to do and hope to do every day for Tunnel to Towers. I hope this review has been helpful. I know that it would have been better if I had a tripod or something, or someone to hold the camera for me to film. But I had a request to do a gear review, and I had this opportunity. I was at the Mountain Harbor B&B. It's a little noisy. I apologize for that. But I wanted to get this gear review out for my friend Ryan and a couple of people that have requested it online. I can do it again in maybe a more professional setting, but I just wanted to get this done. So I hope you found it helpful, and I hope you have a great day. I'm gonna have a great day. Actually, the sun's getting ready to set right over there, and I'm gonna go take a shower, and I've had dinner, and I'm gonna go to bed and rest in a real bed, and then hit the trail again tomorrow. Because the Dollar General truck, that was my last resupply. Might have to follow him up the road, and oh, there's another one. So they're ready for my resupply. Have a great evening.